GTA 6 is of course a massive talking point at the moment in the gaming industry, and today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're going to be talking about GTA 6. I'm not going to be doing any editing over a voiceover or anything like that. It's just going to be me playing some GTA and talking about what I think about GTA 6, you know, when I think it will release, some of the rumours that we've seen, whether I think they're true or not, and what I think they could be like if they're in the game, whether they'd work or not, and stuff like that. So yeah, you know, I have heard quite a few rumours and leaks about GTA 6, of course, like everyone has over the years. We've had that massive leak, and we've had loads of other smaller leaks from so-called, you know, Rockstar developers coming out saying stuff about the game and general stuff like that. So yeah, you know, I'm just going to be playing some GTA, talking about this and what I think about everything. So one of the actual leaks that I've seen, not recently, but I've seen it again recently, if that makes sense, was that a Rockstar Games employee came out and said loads of information about the game. And something I find interesting is that this information was before the big GTA 6 leak that we all know about with the gameplay, and a lot of the information that this Rockstar employee comes out and says is exactly like what is in the gameplay that we see. All of the information that we see in the gameplay has been said by this Rockstar employee, if that makes sense. So, you know, some of this information has actually been sort of verified in a way. So I find that interesting, which makes the other stuff that isn't within that gameplay that we saw, that we didn't see within the gameplay, you know, I think it's likely that there's a good chance it's actually true, since obviously if the other stuff that was in the gameplay is true, then I think there's a good chance this stuff could be true as well. And one of these is that there's actually two maps. Of course, we all know that there is going to be a Vice City, but it looks like there is going to be a smaller secondary map based on Cube, but we don't know the name of that at the moment. But apparently there's going to be another map in the game, and I think that's pretty interesting actually. Obviously in GTA 5, we've just, as I can show you here, we've just literally just got this map right here. And this is, you know, this is the only map that we get in GTA 5. Of course, I'm in GTA Online, and there is that other map, which is Perico, but it's not actually a map expansion. I do remember before the release, loads of people thinking it would be a map expansion, but obviously Rockstar said it would be a heist location, so you can only access that during the heist. It would be cool to have it as a map expansion, but with the older generation consoles getting the update, I don't think that was ever really going to work. But still, you know, it's interesting that we got that, and I do think it's likely there'll be more than one map within GTA 6. Obviously, you know, there's still a good few years off, and I'll get on to the release date a little bit later. But I do think that it's possibly likely that there will be that bit smaller map based on Cuba. I think that'd be a really cool addition, and I think if it's pulled off well, it could work very well. I just want to say I want to apologise for my driving. This is absolutely awful. But yeah, I do think that another map based on Cuba could work really, really well within the game. And apparently there will be select missions, features, areas outside of the main map area in a linear experience. So sort of like what we see with Guarma in Red Dead Redemption 2, and looks like there'll be stuff like that, and in a way a lot like what we see with Perico as well. So that's pretty interesting there, in my opinion. And we also have information about the time period of the game from the same leak, which is that it will be in the 1970s to 1980s. Now, from the sort of gameplay that we saw in the big leaks, we couldn't really tell if it was in that sort of era. I'm not sure it was, to be honest, but then again, it looked like very early gameplay, so we're not really going to know. And apparently it is going to be delivered through a chapter system, like what we see, of course, with Red Dead Redemption 2. We don't see that in GTA 5, but of course in Red Dead Redemption 2 we do have the 6 chapters and then the 2 chapters in the epilogue. So obviously, you know, looks like that's going to continue with GTA 6. But yeah, apparently it'll be in the 1970s to 80s, and it'll be delivered through a chapter system. Whether that time period is true, I'm really not too sure. I think it's, you know, possible, but then again, in that gameplay, we don't really know, so it'll be interesting to see whether that'll be the case. And I do think that would be interesting. I think it would work well, because obviously GTA 5, this is in the modern day. It feels like if we just got GTA 6 in the modern day, maybe that would be a bit similar, to be honest. I'm not too sure. A lot of people would still like it, and I'm sure it would still be very, very successful. But it could be interesting to see in the 80s to the, obviously, 70s to 80s, since that's a pretty cool time period to actually have it in. I think just to have another one in modern day could seem a bit repetitive, since, you know, at that point, what can you really make this new other than the location and the overall design of the game? But, you know, obviously, if it was still to be in modern day, I have no doubt it would still be a massive success, of course. But, you know, it'd be cool, in my opinion, to have it in a different time period. I think that could work quite well. Apparently, there are also 97 planned main missions for the game, with an estimated 60 hours for completion if you do watch all the cutscenes. Now, interestingly, that's longer than both Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 5. Obviously, Red Dead Redemption 2 is about 40 to 50 hours when you watch all the cutscenes and play through all 6 chapters and the epilogue, and obviously GTA 5 with watching all the cutscenes is about 25 hours. So yeah, obviously it looks like it's going to be a bit longer, with 97 planned main missions. Now that's a lot. I actually am not too sure how many are within Red Dead Redemption 2. I believe it's 60 to 80 within there, I believe, but it could be over 100. I actually am not too sure on that one, but I know that, you know, there's a fair amount. But, you know, it's nice to see that they won't be sort of, you know, making it worse with GTA 6. They're going to make it more. Hopefully, if this leak is true, of course, there's a good chance it's not. Everything I say now could just not be the case in the game. The game could be like 5 minutes long for all we know, really. But of course, like I said, this sort of links up with the gameplay, so I think, you know, obviously take it with a pinch of salt, but I do think that it is fairly likely. And apparently there are 41 planned side missions, which, you know, that's a lot. 41 side missions is a lot, so I find that pretty cool, and I think, that's obviously something that we always see with Rockstar games these days, having loads and loads and loads of side content. Obviously, Red Dead Redemption 2, if you want to complete everything in that game, it's going to take you hundreds of hours for that 100% completion with all the side content. And all of those side missions are actually really detailed, and they actually have multiple stages to them, and I have no doubt that'll be the same in GTA 6. Whether this leak is true or not, I have no doubt that will continue in GTA 6, and I think that will work really well, as it does in all Rockstar games with side content. I mean, even in GTA 5, which is, you know, about 10 years old now, it still works very, very well when we see all of these side content. So, yeah, and we are currently stuck here, so we're just gonna, yeah, okay. And let's grab the old, the Manchester Scout from the Rico update, I believe. But yeah, the side missions, I think, is, you know, something that's a given, really. I think that's something we're definitely always going to see within GTA 6. And apparently that when it comes to vehicles, there's going to be around 311 controllable vehicles, which, you know, now even in GTA 5 there's a lot of vehicles, but I don't think there's 311. So I think there's going to be, you know, it's going to be ramped up, and I think that's really cool to see. Obviously, vehicles in GTA 5 play a massive part, especially in the online. I mean, I'm using a vehicle right now, you see all these vehicles around me. So I have no doubt they'll play a big part within GTA 6, and apparently, if this leak is true, it's sort of a hybrid of GTA 4 and 5's physics, but weighty but smooth sort of experience when you are driving cars, and apparently severe damage affects drivability, which we see in GTA 5 as well, actually, especially within the story mode. If you know, crash your car a lot, then the tires are sort of going to, you know, they're going to burn out. You can get your tires popped, and of course, if you crash it a lot, eventually it does just stop working. So, you know, that's going to be continued in GTA 6, but of course into more detail, which I think will be the case with a lot of GTA 6. Really, I think that, you know, a lot of GTA 6 will be similar to GTA 5, but with more detail, and of course some of the mechanics will probably be taken from Red Dead Redemption 2, since that is a newer game, of course, with very nice mechanics. When we see loads, you know, Red Dead Redemption 2 is getting on for 5 years old now, but it's still an outstanding game when it comes to its mechanics, and I'm not really sure there's much that beats it, to be honest, still to this day. And I think that one of the only games that's ever going to beat Red Dead Redemption 2 in terms of graphics and overall gameplay will be GTA 6, or at least the next Rockstar game title, which I assume will be GTA 6. But either way, yeah, it looks like there is going to still be lots of detail in terms of GTA 6, and like I mentioned, yeah, I think that it's just going to be GTA 5 really, but of course better gameplay, better graphics, insane detail, a bigger map and everything like that, and possibly a different time period as well, like I said, but we'll have to wait and see whether that's the case. Now, in terms of when I think there could be a reveal trailer for GTA 6, I think it could be this year in 2023, I really, really do, and I think it's actually highly likely that it'll be this year in 2023. I don't see it being next year, really. I think it's very likely we'll get a reveal trailer sometime this year, and then we'll see the game release in 2024. I think that's very likely. Possibly in 2025 the game will release. I think 2024 to 2025 is when we'll see the game release. Any later than that I think is unlikely, unless there is some sort of major delay, you know, a major disruption that causes a delay to the game. And I think 2024 to 2025 is when we'll see the game release, with a trailer or some sort of reveal being this year. Of course, we already had a sort of confirmation that the game was in development, but that's not really a reveal, to be honest, and I could go into loads of details for why Rockstar did that. You know, they were going through a lot at that time. You know, their company was not at the best, didn't have the best reputation at that time, especially with the whole Save Red Dead Online movement, but I won't get into that in this video. But, you know, I think it maybe was a bit of a cover up there to sort of distract people. But either way, obviously we've had the confirmation that GTA 6 is in development. We've had that once or twice now, and obviously we got the leak, and then Rockstar spoke out about that as well. So yeah, I do think 2024 to 2025 is when we'll see GTA 6 release, and I do think the game's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it, and I think that, you know, people are ready for GTA 6. I feel like Rockstar have done a lot with GTA 5 now. People have been wanting GTA 6 for, you know, 7 years or so. So, you know, it'll be nice to see that finally release when it does. And I'm sure as soon as it releases, people will move on to GTA 7. But, you know, it'll be really nice to see that game release. And yeah, so that was just my thoughts on GTA 6 and, you know, a personal, you know, going through a few leaks and what the game could be like, in my personal opinion, and what I am expecting from the game. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on GTA 6 down in the comments, and when you do think it will release. Personally, yeah, I think 2024 to 2025 is when we'll expect the game to release. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video talking about my opinions on GTA 6 and when I could see the game release, and, you know, just my thoughts and, yeah, overall expectations for the game. So if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any content just like this. So I'll see you in the next one. Peace.